What's up, guys, gals? This is Griever back here, bringing you guys a live read-through reaction to Burn the Witch Chapter 3, as you can no doubt tell from the title. Now, I did read this one. I haven't read Chapter 4. I did read this once a couple weeks ago, but I really need the refresher, so instead of rereading it a couple times, trying to review it, all that stuff, I just figured we'd sit down, read through it together. I already did the Ayakashi Triangle chapter for last week or this week or whatever. So we're going to sit here. I'll do chapter 3, hit stop recording, and I'll do chapter 4, and I'll try to get all 3 videos out as soon as I can. So let's get underway here. So chapter 3, we start off, of course, the official viz. And we have a nice color page thing. We have, I don't see Balgo anywhere, but we have Nina and Noelle just chilling, and the little what's his name, the little dog dragon thingy, you know, they're just all chilling. It seems almost like a fan color. That's like, it doesn't really look like very polished coloring job, but okay, whatever. I mean, it's whatever it is. So that's Burn the Witch. So then we jump over. Okay, it's their superior guy, the dude with the mustache. He's just chilling around the Crown Council central table. I assume that's where all the dudes met. Like, he's the leader of this corps, he's the leader of that corps. What are you doing, Banks Jr.? And, okay, it's the leader of the Sabres. I remember her. It's the leader of the Sabres. And she's saying, after all that I did for you, you couldn't even be bothered to say goodbye when you transferred. What business could a man like you have with the Crown Council? Okay, so that's right. So he was a member of the Sabres under her, but now transferred back to the Pipers for some reason. After all I did for you, you couldn't even bother to say goodbye when you left. Oh gosh, well, or maybe he was always a Sabre, and then he really wanted to be gone from the Sabres for some reason. We don't really have a whole lot of knowledge yet on his character. So, oh gosh, well, actually, I know this is coming late, but I came by to give you a formal farewell in light of my transfer. And she says, cut the crap, don't lie. Perhaps you caught wind of the crisis your subordinates are now in. Huh? Did something happen to them? So she's giving him the eye. He goes, it seems I have given you far too much credit. She doesn't buy that. This dude isn't there for any, like, he knows. He's got to know. Well, fine. You are their direct superior. It struck me as unprincipled not to inform you. The elimination of Balgo Parks was approved yesterday at 2200. Although the procedure has not yet commenced, it seems Bangifi Bruno. I'm going to keep calling this dude Bruno because I know that that's his name. It's Bruno Bangifi or whatever. Is already on the move. You are aware of his methods, are you not? Look out for your subordinates at the very least. Let's go. So he's like looking a little worried. Our mustachio man, Banks Jr., I guess. Well, this is a right mess. Okay, so he's like, yeah, all right. But I'm of the opinion that she didn't give him too much credit. He knows more than he lets on. One of those type of characters. I'm just a salesman sort of Kisuke attitude. Why are there so many Kisuke characters, it seems, coming up in the latest manga? I don't know why. Either way, so there's Bruno Bangerfi looking down, looking like Basby, crossed with Grimjow, and got a new coat, saying, I ain't trying to kill you, but just keep out of my way and follow orders. And Noelle looks up and says, I can tell by that look on your face that you recognize me. I suppose you would, but I know who you are, too. And Noelle says, not someone I recognize. The hell? So he's pissed, so apparently doesn't know who he is. And there's, alright, Nina going, clearly knows and says, Bruno Bangerfi. Banginifi, whatever. He's one of the top of horns. Top of Horns. That's the council, right? Why was it called the Crown Council, but then it's the Top of Horns? They get Kubo. I know this is a limited series, and there's a lot going on for a limited series, but you got way too many terms for a couple of chapters. Like, Bleach, after 15 chapters, didn't have these many terms for stuff, you know? Like the captains, Gote 13, also known as here's the corps, here's this, here's the 2nd Division, here's the 8th Division, 4th Division's medical. But the captain commander is part of this. There's also the Central 60, no. Calm down, Kubo. We got too many, different terms and titles, and we barely even know who the characters are yet. This is getting a lot, really heavy, a lot of stuff just packed on. So he's the director of the Inks. Okay, so one of the corps, which is called the Inks. I remember that. So because you have the Pipers, the Sabres, the Inks, and a few other divisions. Okay. You think this would be easy. There's half the amount of divisions as the Gote 13. All right, but what's somebody like him doing here? And he says, sheesh, not, so one of you recognizes me. That's Stung, Well, who cares? He pulls out his tablet, his cell phone, and says, it's me. Get me an emergency dragon blockade on Penfront Street. Excluding all the rubberneckers who've gathered, but not the wing-bind employee. You'll be able to tell who he is right away by the Piper's mantle. And Noel notices too. Dragon blockade going up. Detain that employee on the spot. That's why he got the mantle. All right, and he's smirking to himself, looking very grim-jowy, saying a dragon was used in a terrorist attack against a newspaper, and he's the culprit. He's pinning this whole thing. Does he not care about the dragon? Like the actual dragon that's going on right now? Because there's a real dragon on the loose. Balgo's not part of it. But okay. So did they set this, is he just, this is really convenient. He's using this to his own, advantage. So you ordered the chief to give us that mantle. And says, makes sense, right? A dragon clad with the power to attract dragons, which we knew, attacks the office of a tabloid that once wrote a humiliating article about him. This was so damn set up. This was so staged. Although I don't actually care if it makes sense or not. Listen here, you mean you've entrapped Balgo, but there's no value in doing that? And he says, but there is. Yesterday at 2200, Balgo Parks received a punitive dragon designation and the elimination procedure was activated. He'll have a bounty on his head within 72 hours tops. And as for the one who puts him down, their name will be remembered in reverse London for all eternity. I'm taking him into the Inks' temporary custody, and then once the elimination procedure is finalized, he's a goner. Don't bother negotiating or whining. I'm well within the scope of the counter-dragon law. Like I said earlier, I don't plan on killing you two as long as you don't get in the way. And then Noel says, Mr. Bruno. And he says, huh. So, all right, let's jump a page. Oh, she must have talked some smack. I see his expression right away. I must say your dye job is so cringe. What'd you just say? You're dead. Okay, chapter 3, she makes me special. All right, so. Alrighty, so, yeah. His dye job, is his hair, dyed or something? I see the couple of streaks there, but I thought it was just what anime does, right? To show some gleam or whatever. But apparently not. I must say your dye job is so cringe. Noelle I'm not sure if I really like her, or I'm just okay, she's fun, because her attitude towards every situation so far has just been fun and nonchalant and stuff. And I've really enjoyed that. I've found that quite fun. So we get Balgo tying his shoes on the step here at the cover page with the little dog. Begins with an O or whatever, the little dragon dog thing. Yeah, so let's see. We got, then boom, next page. So he's letting his aura out or something because everything's breaking and cracking. Nia, what? I didn't do any, Nia, what? I didn't do anything worthy of blame. That's not what I meant. I was praising you. Well said, says Nia. All right. I didn't do anything worthy of praise either. I treated you all nice since you're lackeys. Thinking you can get cocky with me? Okay, so we're seeing flame aura, crackle, crackle, crackle. You know that coat is red and he's his hair is dyed red or something like that, Bring on the workers' comp forms. Guess I'm writing up 2 incident reports. Oh, great. So All right, now Noelle is flying away. And Bruno yells, "What the hell? You think you're not going to fight me?" And then there's the people taking Balgo into custody. And Noelle is about to fire on them. You meatheads look up, get your shields up. And she takes him down and then grabs Balgo and she gets the hell out of there. And he's surprised, says, "Noelle, you came to my rescue?" She says, "Yes. I suppose the end result makes it appear as though I have. Brilliant. I got no clue what's going on, but I'm glad you're with me." So Bruno's like, bloody hell and stuff, like, oh, this is all going to shit. And now he's got like the Sailor Moon star thing pointed at him. Those guns are so freaking stupid. Like, why is everything looking like Sailor Moon-esque is beyond me. I know that Kubo wanted to originally, I think the original title for Bleach was Snipe and it was gun-based. But I'm glad it wasn't. If this is his idea of a cool design for like these spirit gun shooter things, they're way too cutesy for me. But either way, she says, "I've got a question for you," holding him hostage here, sort of idea at point blank. That don't seem the right attitude for posing a question. What are they teaching you over in Piper's? Did you bring Macy here? Why is she with a dragon? Okay, so now we're going to get the story. If I remember correctly, he is involved. He's the one who made up set up this whole scenario. But I don't think he's the one who involved her with a dragon. So keep it to one question, you little snot. That's right, I scouted her and brought her over to Reverse London. She found an infant dragon front side and raised it. Okay, so yeah. So she found the dragon. If I remember, she was a baby or whatever. And raised it, and the dragon is like a good dragon, but maybe is getting out of control or draining her life or something. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But, okay, so found her and dragged her over. Wanted to believe that the dragon was my doing too, didn't you? Wasn't me. That woman is one of those humans who's sometimes born frontside with significantly strong magical abilities. She's a watcher. She can see dragons. She would have made her way reverse side sooner or later, just like you and Noelle Nihashi. So that's how they got their way there, because they were strong. We're not 100% sure how that happened or what happened. So similar, but not the same as an Ichigo situation. Found out about Reverse London, had super magical powers, and ended up on the other side, and now, does her thing. But clearly Macy is also one of these people, just like her. So, kicks, but it seems like not everybody. Like, there's people born in Reverse London. Once again, Shinigami sort of mentality here. So, okay. So he kicks the gun away and says, "Don't go getting agitated while you're holding your witch kit. What would it do? What would you do if it had discharged?" And then, picked up by Noelle, who's overhead, grabs it, the hell, and fires double barrel, fires both of them at the building. Boom! Explodes on top of this big building. Just kaboom! Everything's on fire. Alright. So, Nina seems to jump away. And there's Macy, Nina, and she calls for Marshall. Marshall's that's that dragon thing. So grabs Macy by the hand, takes off. Nina, let go, don't struggle. I'm going to take you somewhere safe. And then through the glass, we have the dragon that was with Macy. And she screams down to it, "Ellie." And Ellie screams back. Because once again, that dragon, whatever. Weird looking dragon, but okay. Like, the dragons in this are all very not dragon looking, I find that pretty interesting. So then we get Balgo Parks, Macy Baljuro. You're going to nab him and give me the runaround. Rickenbacker calls Bruno, and boom, we get this big black aura crackling around. And he summons a dragon. So this is throwing me for a loop. So they're not allowed to have dragons. Balgo's in danger because he's dragon-clad and can attract dragons. Macy's got a dragon that seems to just do as she wants, no problem. And all of them are criminals. But this dude, is it because he's higher up, he's allowed to have a dragon? And not only that, but looks like a classic dragon. This four-winged thing looks like an actual dragon. I don't know what the rules are yet. Like, really, we need, like, please, Kubo, in the next couple of chapters, give us, like, the big rundown. Give us the huge, like, page where someone just explains all the dialogue. Introduce that Kisuke Urahara character and lay it out for the reader. We need to know this. Not saying that we're going to remember it every time, because maybe this has been explained, but why does this dude get to have a full-fledged dragon at beck and call, but all dragons are... Like, I know not all dragons are evil and whatever in this verse, but, like, they're so scared of dragon interaction with everything, and this dude can just summon one when he feels like it. I'm confused. Wasn't that the whole point of Balgo being dragon-clad became a part of the Western Branch, or Wingbind, to keep an eye on him because he's dragon-clad. Something similar to this. I'm missing something. So, anyways, so he says, "How naive." Keep moving on. So they ran away. Ugh, stop crying already, says Nina. But we left Ellie behind. Okay, so she's really upset that Ellie's not with them. Like I said, we can't take the dragon. They're harmful to normal people. Yeah, so he's allowed to keep one, but she's not? What the hell? But quit your grousing. I can't stand that about you. And Macy says, so you really do hate me. Ugh, why do I have to deal with you? So, let's see. I think we should be safe for the time being. After coming this far, I also cast a cloth, so they shouldn't be able to find us. I'm assuming a cloth is like a barrier. I'm seeing a couple of rings in the sky, so that's interesting. Why abuse dragons? Choose safety way for your safety home away. Whatever, there's some signs there in the background. Macy, what happened? So now Macy's going to tell the story. Nina, you know I didn't like being in the group, right? So they were in some type of group or band. Yeah, I'm just tall, clean up well, and know how to dance. They put me in stylish clothes and fancy makeup and made me out to be the icon of cool or something. I know, that's why you quit, right? Yeah, so they were part of this like band or group, and it just didn't work out, right? No, if that's all it was, I would have quit a long time ago, but I couldn't. You were there, and if I had quit, I'd become a nobody again. Then 2 months ago, I found that little one. Okay, and they look down and stuff. Who's that in the background? Is the dude in the hoodie, is that supposed to be Bruno? Like, is that Bruno walking by noticing that she found the dragon or whatever? Hard to tell. Maybe these characters are significant, maybe they aren't. They're a little detailed, so hard to say. The one on the right kind of looks like Balgo, but I don't know why he would be involved. Yeah. So let's see. Hard to tell, really. Maybe there is no significance. So yeah, looks like a Digimon. Looks like one of the little Digimon right there on page 20, 26, 27. Just sitting there on the rock, sort of in the cold. And he looks, oh, that's Ellie. Ellie looks so cute. Ellie looks so cute as a baby. It looked like a dragon straight from a picture book or a cartoon. Yeah, finally, a dragon-looking dragon. No one else seemed to see it, so I thought it was just a hallucination. So I thought you can see things even without drugs. But then I brought it home and it drank water. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, I thought it really is alive. I gave it food and it ate it too. I gave it all kinds of things, but it seemed to prefer fruits and vegetables. Okay, it never went to the bathroom. It just kept getting bigger. Started to look more and more like a dragon. Okay, now, that grown-up thing looks less like a dragon than it did when it was a baby. That looks like some prehistoric, that looks like a dinosaur, but not a dragon. Dinosaur, not dragon. A dragon only I could see. So this girl's got a complex. She wants to be, like, important. She's got, like, the Anakin thing. She needs to be special. I felt like I'd become special. Yeah. And then we see them saying, selling songs, going on stage. You and the rest of the group were amazing. I was the only one who wasn't my true self. But if I quit, I'd have nothing. I was sure that no one would notice me. But once I took Ellie home, things changed. You know, not only does she, I'm not saying she has a complex in a bad light. This happens to a lot of stars. There are stars or people that get super famous. Look at almost every child actor from America. Look at what happens to them. You know, you get some good ones, but in general, what happens is Hollywood grabs them up and spits them out once they're done with their big blockbuster hits, their movies, their big series, right? It's very trying. It's very difficult to keep being in the limelight, especially if you're not having fun or you're doped up all the time or whatever. Like, some people can't take the level of pressure that is involved with that, especially at a young age. There's no handlers or manuals or something. Here's step 1 through 12: how to handle being rich and famous and being in the limelight every day. You know, here's what not to do. Here, like, you can't have a personal life. You can, but you have to have precautions here so things don't get leaked. If you say something racist, your whole career is screwed and everybody hates you. You know, like, all these things that, you know, like, there is no handbook or rule book for any of that. So the level of pressure is there. Like, it's easy to say, well, you got all this money and stuff, but also you don't want to be hated across the internet by people who've never even met you, don't know you. You know, they hear you on one rant where you call somebody a bitch or you're mad at somebody or whatever, and, you know, like, I'm not talking the extreme things, you know, but like, if you're not squeaky clean and politically correct to 2020, here's the worst part: if you're not politically correct to next year's standards, 2021, it doesn't matter if it was okay in 2018. They will take the tape of you saying what you said in 2018 when it was acceptable and nobody found offense to it, and when it becomes offensive 6 years later, they'll go back and say how offensive you were. So it's so critical in this day and age of media and the internet for that stuff. So I understand. So this level of pressure here that she's feeling, I sort of get it, you know? Like, I really do. Like, I'm not rich and famous. I'm a small time. I don't even ever tell people I'm a YouTuber because my channel is this small. Like, well, I'm not, small time YouTuber would be a couple, like, tens of thousands of subscribers, you know, 30,000 subscribers. That's a small time channel. You know, I'm a small time YouTuber. I make a few bucks on the side doing it. I enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't even describe myself as that. So I can only imagine the level that this takes you to, right? So she says after this, sorry for that, guys, but I just feel like that's a key thing to describe here. I feel like this is going quickly, but I feel like we're meant to read between the lines with Macy's story here. I felt like Ellie was giving me strength. I felt like Ellie would take me somewhere special. And she did. She took it to reverse London, where she didn't have the pressure or the worries. Ellie was her escape. Ellie was the constant, the companion that, you know, even if you've had a really long day sort of idea, you always have your wife or your husband or whatever waiting for you at the end of the day at home, ready for you to download on, ready for you there to listen, to talk to, and just be there for you, even if you want to do none of that, right? To just let you have a break. And that's what this poor woman needed. She needed a break. She didn't want to be alone, but she wanted a break from the life. I get that. I really do. So I feel really bad for this Macy character. Not a huge fan of her hairstyle, but Macy as a character is actually very three-dimensional to me. I'm really enjoying that aspect of this. I don't remember it being this deep when I first read it, but that was a couple weeks ago. So, all right, so the girls are looking on, and then we have Bruno there. That man, Bruno, came to me late last night. He told me he needed my powers and the dragons. I thought, this is finally it. I'm finally being led somewhere special. Yeah, it's like every fairy tale ever. Like, a dude shows up. Like, we like to believe that they're all good people. Like, your story happens, and it's always a Rukia Kuchki who comes to you. It's always Peter Pan. It's always, you know, ABC. It's always the good guy. But what if it was, instead of Peter Pan, what if it was Captain Hook? Instead of Rukia, what if it was Isaac? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we're dealing with here. Bruno came, and how would she know? She didn't know any better. That's not her fault. It says, I'm finally being led somewhere special. And then she says, Nina, boom! Whoa, I forgot that he interrupted this shit. So that he's got a full-fledged dragon that just comes sweeping by and boom, seems to crack through the barrier. He's riding this dragon. Girls are shocked. Yo, finish saying your final goodbyes, he says. Property damage, aggravated assault, unlawful use of a witch kit, and tons of other crimes, but let's put all that aside for now. Take a look at this. Balgo Park's punitive dragon designation was just finalized. So he's a punitive dragon. He's got the big cross through it. He's to be eliminated. From this point on, every witch and wizard in reverse London has their sights set on squashing him. And the last page here of the chapter, Balgo's sitting there, what? Me? What did I do? You know, and that's the end of the chapter. Okay, so that was, you know, when I first read it, I thought it was really chaotic, and it is. This limited series is really chaotic. I think I mentioned at the beginning of this review or reaction that I felt like Kubo was throwing way too many terms and way too many alternative terms for everything. Like, instead of, like, it's certainly not simplified. Instead of just calling them, okay, these are all the witches and wizards. No. This dude's the leader of this set of corps that are part of the Inkers, which is part of the Council of the Top of the Horns, which is also referred to as the Crown Council when they all meet up. Like, whoa, Kubo, you got way too much information that's not really necessary right now. Like, this is really cool and informative, but like, all these names and terms are being thrown around for this new world, and I'm not really keeping up as quick, I'm sure, as Kubo would like. Like, I swear I have to look back and go, okay, so it's the Crown Council. Is that the Top of Horns Council? I don't know. Like, I seriously don't. I'm sure, like, I'll go back and read, like, chapter 1 or whatever when they first introduced that. But, like, there's no reason for that to be there. It's sort of like the whole Wingbind is also West Branch. Like, why is it both WB? Why didn't you just keep it as West Branch and call it something else? You know, so that confused me the first time. So I think Kubo's just going overboard with nailing everything down. He's probably got all the details written out and he's just throwing it out there as though you've been a part of this world as long as you've been a part of Bleach. But it's so dissimilar from Bleach, nothing's the same, that I'm having a hard time following it. I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you thought, though. I really like this chapter. Macy's character is so interesting, three-dimensional, as I already talked probably the better half of this review about. So I hope you guys agreed with that. But tell me what you guys thought, and tell me if you disagree or you understand where I'm coming from, or you're like, what the hell were you talking about for the last 10 minutes, right? So let me know that stuff, guys. I'll be moving on to chapter 4 here very, very soon. I hope to record it today and get that out to you guys as well. So like, comment, and subscribe as always. It's always very much appreciated. Drink responsibly as always. And this has been Griever with your Behind the Bar review live reaction to Burn the Witch chapter 3, as late as it has been. Let's catch up, get to chapter 4, and then we'll be caught up. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you back here next time.